Black and muted.
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 Hi and welcome back to Black and Muted. You know my co-host Shanice and Dillz. Today we'll be talking about survival mode isn't living, discussing how many people in the Black community normalises stress, trauma, overworking and emotional suppression because that's just life. And what's normalized around us as well, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just how deep it goes and obviously, again, how far back it goes and what we're taught by our parents and those that care for us, you know what I mean? So it's a hard one to just shake off because sometimes you don't even know you're doing it.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. It's very subconscious.
Yeah.
Often. And it's also dubbed as living.
Yeah.
Because it's what's been done before and what's been said to be the right way.
Yes. You should just accept it sometimes with the older generation.
Just move, yeah.
It's always worse on the other side. That's what we're always told, but it's actually not. Do you know what I mean? Healing is good.
I mean, it's safe to acknowledge your own self and acknowledge your own capacity and not compare it to whatever someone else has experienced or is experiencing. Because I think that's another thing that gets people trapped thinking, oh, it can be worse.
Yes.
But it's just a worse for you. So acknowledge it. Yeah.
And some people, like, you know, little things can affect you. And, you know what I mean? Some people, a little thing is such a major thing as well. So you can't balance. You can't say, oh, because that person's got through it, that person should as well. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think like I think with like the way that life is at the moment, like everything's just sort of like high demand, isn't it? And time is of the essence. And like, I don't know about you lot, but for me, there's just not enough time in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where the day goes most of the time, but like, I wake up, I blink, you know, it's morning, I blink again, it's lunchtime, I blink again, it's the end of work, or it's the evening, you know, I blink again, like, it's time to go to sleep, it's like, what's going on, do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like as well, just like with society at the moment, and just with the way like the economy is, and how like, just how expensive things are becoming, you know. I don't know again about you lot, but for me, I just find myself constantly spending. Even if it's just like £1 at the shop, like it's just constant. You know what I'm saying? Like the second I leave my house, it's like the meter just starts. You know, I feel like I'm just walking around and there's like a black taxi meter just sort of on top of my head, and it's just every step I'm taking is just costing me. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with the kids as well. When you've got kids, it's like, if you're not spending your money, they are. So, you know, it's constant. Yeah, I hear it. But I feel like every generation has their, do you know what I mean? Like where we're fighting time and we feel like we haven't got it. And we have got all this stuff around us, technologies to make our lives easier. They didn't have that, but they still had to, do you know what I mean? Work hard or whatever. So I feel like every generation has that. But yeah, again, you know, like being fed information from social media day in, day out and having this in your face all the time, it affects you differently to what they were just shown locally or nationally. Do you know what I mean? But I think we've all got our struggles, but it's just seeing them and doing something about it.
Slowing down. Slowing down and giving yourself permission. And I feel like for me personally, until COVID had happened, and then, you know, there was the whole social distancing and stay in your house type of situation, I used to be in the same cycle of very much doing what felt the most necessary. And that was working full time, being a very early young mom, because my son was literally a couple months old. And prior to that even, I used to have like 3 jobs back to back. Do you know what I mean? So for me, when COVID happened, that was a huge eye opener because I didn't even realize how much of myself I wasn't tending to. Do you know what I mean? Because it really did feel like it. But then being made redundant is what actually helped because I had nothing else to do but to take care of my child. And that was a blessing. But from there, I've learned to really honor just slowing down and being okay with like my journey. Because I think also what we have amongst our community is silent competition or silent needing to be on top of something or someone.
Being better
than the next person. And it's like, maybe if you just focus on what you actually value and what like success is for you or what your needs are telling you need right now, perhaps there wouldn't be as much being in survival mode. Because then you will honor yourself enough to slow down and live. But I guess there comes a lot of fear, like you said, with not them being able to keep up with the expenditure of life. And I feel like even that, when we slow down enough, we give ourselves the grace to receive in the sense of receiving insight, receiving better clarity, receiving direction. And obviously, you know, for me, spirituality plays a huge role in how life is supposed to be. So I think being able to receive direction from the Most High gives you the peace to move at your own pace and trust what comes along your path. And not to say we shouldn't move in our own way as well, but you give yourself a little bit more room, breathing room, you know, to actually pay attention to other things, because we have a lot of disease in the Black community. We have a lot of like people that just end up in hospital and shut down completely because they're in this survival mode and consistent motion. And even at that, there's still no point of saying, hey, maybe it's just take a moment. It's then even with that happening, trying to get back. We don't have enough voice to say, pay attention to your well-being. It's not a priority for us.
No one teaches you to say, oh, wait a minute, I need to take him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not
pay attention.
I've done a lot, you know, I've taken on a lot of people. It's time for me to just sit down and be by myself. We're not taught that.
No.
You know what
I mean, to rest is even really still something where you can be looked at as lazy.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
That's
like,
a big one.
I remember having a conversation recently with some family members about women having a pause on their menstrual cycle. And it was male family members, and they were like confused as to why do you need that? Like you can do, if you want to work like I'm working, then do it. But it's like, you don't even know like how tiring and exhausting that those 2, 3 or however long your cycle might go on for. And as you know, even with that, a lot of the suppression causes diseases. So there's some women that experience endometriosis and other womb-related matters where it's like, it's just the worst time of the month to even be present, but then still having to force yourself. Do you know what I mean?
The hormones, like the emotions and stuff. That
the roller coaster, everything is really a lot. So I was saying, like, you know, it's something that I feel like should be honored, because in some countries it's honored when women actually get to take a break when they're having a menstrual cycle. They're like, while just it's that time, it's just do you. Don't be engaged in the world, and rightfully so. But then we have a colonization and a society that doesn't necessarily, like, we need women. That's what it's come down to. Women can't even take a break, because a lot of where your children are kept in the daytime for you to work, it's run by women.
But that's still not honoured in the real world either. Like, women are not honoured as much, and we all know that.
There's not even a right proper compensation for that.
Even, pay gap and the fact that, like, we have kids. Do you know what I'm saying? So somebody,
a whole life outside of it,
you've got to have the balance, but it's true what you're saying.
There's a lot to it, I feel. And we don't do ourselves much justice in it. When we 100. Don't allow, like, just giving someone grace to be like, if you need to take a break, take a break, you know. But I guess for me, everything always comes back down to community, because we need each other to do that. You know what I mean? If you're not able to sustain yourself for a little while, maybe you need a friend that can come bring you a meal. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, little things to keep you going. But I feel like we have a way to go. 100. However, we can get there.
You know what though? You know what I'd say? I'd say that I don't want to speak for everyone. It's my opinion, but I just feel like not everyone is not everyone feels like they're where they want to be in life. So because of that, you find yourself constantly on that path, and even you yourself, you don't allow yourself that time to kind of like take a breather, sort of have a little, maybe like a welfare check or something like that. But to be honest with you, there isn't really that time because, okay, then look at it like this. Like, imagine if you're working full time, you're a parent, so you have children. Okay, so you do your job 9 to 5. We're just going to put standard full time hours, 9 to 5. You come home now. Now you got your second job. Go look after the children. That's done in the evening. Like, children is literally a constant thing, innit? That doesn't switch off. That job doesn't switch off. Even when you're working, it's still. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, when do you actually get the chance to? And it's like the workplace doesn't give you a day for welfare, a day, even if it's 1 day in the year, welfare. You know, like little things like that can sometimes help. Yeah, and it's just things like that. Like, so you've got a lot of pressures from society, which like doesn't even enable us to. It's
also in your home. Like, I've got one of my good friends, her husband, so she's got the kids during the day, and on the weekends, he's like, get out of here. He kicks her out of the house. Go find someone to go and chill with. Like, I've got the kids, do you know? And one of her kids has got autism as well, so it's just like a lot. Do you know what I mean? But it's a healthy thing that he's just like, cool, your turn to go and have some time for yourself, lay your hair down, and do you know what I mean? See you later.
That's nice.
So it's also in the house as well.
I was going to say that as well, because I feel like it comes down to making a conscious effort about it. It's not simple because, like you said, there's so much to then be striving for, but it can be easier when you have a voice that is able to support you and a presence that's able to support you as well. I guess. And sometimes being a bit audacious and taking those breaks for yourself. Like, if you're working, if you need a day for your mental health, like, don't say you got the runs. You can't go in for 3 days. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, personally, you're paid for those sick days as well. So for me, it's just like, you realize how much, because when if something happens to you, your company wouldn't care to replace you. 2 seconds. Literally, in fact, that's all they care about. You're just a number. Yeah, just a number, literally. A colleague number. You know what I mean? So once you're no longer capable, okay, where's the next person coming from? Exactly. They're not even looking at them as a person a lot of the time, but literally someone to fill the gap. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite nice when you do have companies that are mindful enough to care about your well-being, because then there's a balance. But when they don't, I'm not going to lie, I don't think you deserve that. Yeah. And I think this is what we have to do as a people, is get to a place where we're comfortable being audacious enough to be like, I don't deserve what I'm living in. Yeah. And create it for yourself. And it sounds probably a bit like woo. Unrealistic. But it isn't. It's not unrealistic. It's like the way you set boundaries for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because when life forces you to do it, you will find a way.
That requires discipline though.
It does.
And structure.
It does.
And organisation.
It does.
These are a lot of things that people are struggling with.
But before that place, but you know what is as well? For me, it's like, and this is why I guess in essence, for everything would come down to us being spiritual beings in a sense, because when you're empowered by source or life force, you're not concerned about worldly things as much as your spirit. Your spirit is what you need to thrive in this lifetime. The world can only have so much control of your physical body. Do you get what I mean? But when you can give into the knowing of self enough, then you will find the strength and you'll find the space to be and to do what's necessary for you without feeling you're letting anyone down around you, or you're not progressing in the world enough. Do you get what I mean? Like, I think faith has a huge thing to do with it, because also when it even does come down to faith, and then we look at the structure of faith that we have predominantly, which is religion, it is still not really honouring of these principles anyway that we need for our natural well-being. Not completely. You know what I mean? I mean, if you play smart, maybe you can find a loop.
It's being selfless as well, a lot of it. So,
yeah. So to then even be selfish and be like, oh, I need a day for myself. Yeah. You feel guilty because this person's gonna have to show up, and that's sometimes let that be the case. Yeah. You know,
it's not gonna break apart, man. Just take the time.
When it happens by force, there's a way that's made. So before it gets to that point, I feel like it's healthy to just try even a little thing a day. It can even, because a lot of the time as well, what is suppressing us or what's causing things within us is not always external.
Yeah.
Like it's what we're putting into ourselves. So
what we've been taught.
That part is a huge thing.
But when you come out of that environment of being taught and you become an adult and you then get to choose your environment, that's when that plays in, because if you're being, do you know what I mean? If you're being in places where they think the same and they probably, you know what I mean? Or you put it down or they judge you. If you do take time out for yourself, it's never going to happen. So you've got to also be, you know, you've got to take control of who you're sitting with and the type of people that are filling your head. I think
maybe as women, I would say it's probably easier to say this because I think naturally we are... there's a lot that we have in place to help us do this easier. I think for men, it's a lot harder because there's pressure more than there is on us. But this is like where I feel like these conversations can be necessary, because is it then not fair to say that men need a break? Like men do. Do you know what I mean? And I think as much as we do, we've had time to work on ourselves, to heal. You know, we have so many spaces now that facilitate this for us and everything. Men still don't have that, but yet still men are becoming conscious of all these other aspects of themselves.
It's like you lot are 20 years behind with this stuff.
In essence, you know what I mean? So then it's like, it takes teamwork and it takes community and it takes people being like, you know what, we have to just go against what we're told and see what makes sense.
Literally.
Because that's a reality too. Yeah. That is a reality.
And the big one is the community thing, because like I find even me and one of my really good friends, again, we bounce off of each other. So it's like I got to an age where I was just like, fuck everything, do you know? I mean, like, I'm doing me, I don't care. Do you know? And she was still like, oh no, I can't. And now she's at that point, and it's so refreshing to see. But you know, people take time, but it is literally, you just absorb off of each other. Yeah. So, and
then the blessing is you can be grounding for each other as well.
Yes.
Like, because you know what that can lead to. Do you know what I mean? So if you're not treading lightly, you can end up really being F everything. Yes, and then everything collapses. Yeah. So it is having a balance, but having the community, being vulnerable is a huge thing. I think we don't like to be vulnerable with what our issues are as well. Yeah. Enough to actually even enable.
That's a big one.
Piece to come in.
That is a big one.
It's difficult though, because like you say you be vulnerable, but that's not always a good thing though.
Why, darling?
It's just not always a good thing to be vulnerable to with your feelings, you say?
Yeah.
Like
with your well-being, your feelings, everything, your mental state of being.
Like if you're having a crap day, you can say, I'm having a crap day.
Yeah, that's all right. I wouldn't say it's being vulnerable though. You're allowed to express yourself.
But it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Would you say that's vulnerable?
Yeah, because that person's still giving you a safe space to be.
It's saying what's in your innermost feelings and thoughts. It is very, very vulnerable.
Fair enough.
Maybe you're not going deep enough to see it as vulnerable.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I guess everyone has their level.
It's how you see things, innit?
Everyone has their level of.
Again, it's what you know, innit? Like,
that they're comfortable
that's
with.
Safe to talk about, but going the next level and
yes,
I can't do that because you haven't seen it, or do you know what I'm saying?
Or you don't know how it's going to be received, so you won't do it. Do you know what's funny? The other day I went to a retreat. It was about radical self-forgiveness by Strictly Queens, really great. And in that moment, like one of the things the facilitator had mentioned is the fact that as community, we just don't trust each other enough. And that lack of trust doesn't only impact us in business or in thriving as one, but it also impacts us in the sense of our well-being. Because if we can't trust each other to say, you know what, this is really where my issues lie, and get to the real root of it. Yeah. Like things that are maybe childhood related, or, you know, just like bumps in the road as you've grown from adolescence to adult. I think if you can't really communicate these things to the people closest to you, you won't relieve them from yourself enough to see beyond it.
Yes.
And it consumes you more than anything. And that's what suppression does. Like when you're suppressing things, it's then going to harvest within you, and you don't realize that that thing is a block, but then it becomes the one thing that prevents you from moving forward.
When you mentioned COVID earlier, that's kind of what happened to me. I just felt like I didn't realize I was sweeping everything under the carpet. Do you know what I mean? And then when COVID hit, I think not the first time, the second time when we had the second lockdown, that's when I kind of went, oh, I've got shit to deal with. Do you know what I'm saying? Damn. Like, where did that come from? I
Literally.
locked that shit away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or you're just so consistent in motion, you just don't
just on
pick up
automate.
the points of
yeah.
And I think that's been our lives. Like it's been what's been normal for so long, like generationally long. Do you know what I mean? So there's not only our own ish that we end up dealing with in the end, we're actually dealing with some things from our ancestors that was not dealt with in the now.
And what we've been taught.
And like it's heavy.
Becomes normal, isn't it?
But I would say like there is, because obviously then it's like, okay, so how do you go about all of that then? When you've recognized it, because you need to still keep going in the world, how do you really then show up for yourself?
Yeah.
Again, like I said, vulnerability helps, because if you are vulnerable enough, you can receive help from the government even, whereby you can have things implemented where you can then get days off and be paid, or do you know what I mean? Like you can be given a bit of a grace and assistance as you work through whatever it is, because there's quite a bit of assistance out there. But also community is important with that, because it's nice to be able to relate to your own with whatever it is you might be struggling with, and find a way through that together.
You say that, but you see, one thing I will say, you see one thing community can't help? Community can't help employment rates increasing. Community,
I don't agree with that.
It can't help people getting I would say black people even in a sense getting sort of, you know, jobs in better positions. There's just certain things that's put in place to kind of like stifle us as a community, innit? And that also plays an effect as to why, you know, a lot of us are living in this survival mode. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Especially living in London, when you look at a lot of these areas. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these Lewishams, these Southwarks, Lambeths, Haringey's, Hackney, like these areas like that. Like it's not good. It's run down. A lot of these places are run down. Obviously, yeah, cool. Now they're gentrifying the place and whatnot, but they're gentrifying the place because they're kicking a lot of us out and sending a lot of us up north. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's also played a part, I would say, as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And like even what we've seen, how we've seen our families come up, like sort of like Windrush generation and things like that. Literally, they've come into this country and it's literally been survival from the off. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that also plays a part as well, like our culture in it. It's kind of almost like our culture, like to survive. When you're born, it's almost like you're trying to survive in this thing, innit? And for me, that's real as well, innit? That definitely plays a part.
Yeah,
I agree. I wouldn't deny that's a reality at all, because for a very long time, it was my reality too. But again, like I said, it does come down to wanting to even get to a place where there's another way. And community, if you view community in a way of you cannot receive help, you're not going to receive help. If you view community in a sense of there is actually people out there that care to direct you and also help you to apply to certain things to help you elevate, then community will be the greatest asset that you can have. Do you get what I mean? So it's like perspective and mindset and what you're willing to receive really does play a huge role. Because again, it comes down to that vulnerability though. If you're not comfortable saying, I'm weak in this and I need to, I want to thrive in something else, you're not gonna receive, well, you would then receive the guidance somehow. And it can really be one day you're sitting down at a bus stop and someone sits beside you and they might have something and you could peep on it and it could be what you can be an answered prayer in that sense. Or they could speak to you. And as they speak to you, you realize that as you're communicating, oh, this person has insight to what I had a question about.
Yep.
And this is not like just naysay or imaginary. This is fact. Like it happens in every way. And I say it from a place of experience in the latter to moving through to the now. Do you get what I mean? So it's only come through that vulnerability and being willing to reach out as well. Not just stand back and be like, oh, well, nothing's there for me. If you have that mentality and that way of being, that's all that's going to be for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's okay to say, I don't know how and I don't see it yet, but I'm open.
Yes.
That sets another pathway for you to then receive that. And it's a whole different paradigm that's open to you through doing that. you get what I mean? So I completely hear you. And I know the weight of that as well, because the weight of it makes it feel like there's nothing to do or that can be done. But that's just not reality.
And then that's a
there's
tricky place
many
to be in.
realities.
That's a scary place to be in, because you don't know how to ask for help.
And the fear of what's unknown.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like the Windrush generation and stuff, and, you know, coming here and like having to just keep away and keep their stuff, do you know what I'm saying to you, and act like everybody else and like, so we're all taught that next generation and generation after are taught to keep your business to yourself and don't, you know what I mean, don't step out of line and rare. So yeah, it doesn't help. But when you come out of that mindset and you realize that there are other avenues, it doesn't, and therapy is not the same for everybody. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Some people, they need to talk. Some people, it's art.
It's practical.
Music, you know what I mean? Dancing. There's different types of therapies out there for everyone. So we need to
tap in.
Put ourselves first. Like, love ourselves.
That's interesting. All right, let me give you a little real scenario that's very real. Let's see how we go on this one. You owe council tax. You have rent arrears, service charge arrears. You owe money on your gas and your light. You owe money on your electric. Yeah? Your TV license. You have children. They want this. They want the latest stuff. School uniform. Klarna here. ClearPay there. Klarna here. Catalogue here. Littlewoods there. Let me ask you a lot of question. Yeah? All that going on. At this precise moment, how does the community help with that?
They can give you advice of where to go.
Advice?
Advice
Advice of where to go.
Advice? Yeah.
Advice of where to go.
Do you know what?
Eviction notice on your door.
Darling,
there's help. Do you get what I'm saying?
fair.
Just
what you're grounding
Right,
your perception in, and even what you want to receive is coming from fear. Because I hear it completely. Lived it completely.
Can I just say something, by the way? You see, you lot answering this question, yeah? You lot answering this question right now is going to solve an issue for a lot of people's reality right now. So please, do explain how that helps.
no pressure.
There's no pressure. Do you know why? Because again, there are people with the knowledge of how to go around debts.
Yes.
That there's a point of debt where if you genuinely can't clear it, there's a way it's cleared for you. You know, even if you go, because I've had to do IVAs. Is it an IVA? I think it's an IVA.
Yeah.
Where you pay monthly to basically reset your credit. And even in doing that, right, I've found that life just powers things up. And for me, I'll be real, I'm going to prioritize, especially now, especially after having received diagnoses and, do you know what I mean? And knowing how much my self-care is necessary, I prioritize myself first and my children and what's necessary in the home. So therefore, outside of that, I have to seek the ways of which all the other finances can be dealt with, because otherwise you're going to be burdened by things that it will take a long time to reduce or whatnot, but there is help.
Fair enough. Okay, so you say IVA, yeah? That's basically insolvency. So that goes on a record for 7 years.
Yeah.
So that means, technically it's like declaring yourself bankrupt. So that means you can't literally apply for any loan. Forget it. If you want to get a house, forget it. No mortgage lender's going to want to touch you.
No. Okay, can I say no? Because again, yes, it's a timeline of where you then are not able to do those things. But that
credit card.
That does not mean there's not other ways. Okay?
But would you say that's like, but again, like I just said, that's 7 years on your record where you can't do any of those things. So it's like, again, if you're someone that's aspiring to do that, is that like...
Community, babe.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna.
You can have a conversation with somebody. They can be like, "I've got a job for you that earns much more or double."
You can get cash in hand.
Yeah.
You can put your own skills to the test.
If you need somewhere to live, you never know who somebody, family can bring
life
you
was
in,
that
and they got
simple.
a space.
If
It happens.
life was that simple.
The thing is, it happens when you ask the universe for things. It literally falls on your lap sometimes.
You say that.
I know where you're coming from.
You say that,
and
but
so
then even these things that you're talking about, like these organizations that have to
faith,
accept you, they have to allow you to do these things. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you have those battles as well. And then, you know, you've got a lot of people that are struggling and that haven't got nothing and they're being looked past.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
And you're stuck
some
in
people
this.
don't know that. They don't know what their rights are or what they're entitled to too. But
some people do.
Yeah.
And those people will help you.
I used to work in a community centre doing exactly this. People come and be like, I've got a dilemma with my housing or my benefits, or I need to find work, or I'm unhealthy. So I used to take them gym and stuff like that. And community centre, like literally they all come in and this is what we're giving them. So again, talking to people opens doors for you no matter what. Do you know what I'm saying?
Be vulnerable.
But just going back, Dillz, would you advise not to go down that lane? Is that what you were saying? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I was thinking to myself, like me, even like I'm not even trying to bait up my thing, but obviously what I do on a day to day is like kind of in and around that. And I was thinking to myself, me personally, I would never even advise somebody that has sort of debt to go down that road. I would never advise someone.
Yeah, I would.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Even when someone's on the phone and trying to suggesting that, obviously I'm not an advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't actually tell you what to do, how to handle your finances.
Yeah.
But the way I will kind of angle that conversation, in my opinion, my sort of experience in being this, it's not something I would.
Yeah.
Because for me, what I tend to find is that a lot of people in these situations, that doesn't actually help. It maybe just puts a stop on certain things, but it's about your habits.
If you can get a
it's
debt
about
relief,
the
it is
person's
about your
habits.
habit.
It's
Okay,
about the
but
person's habits.
my thing is if someone's listening right now and you're basically saying to them you wouldn't go down that route.
Never.
And so would you tell them just to hold out with their bad credit because it's going to eventually clear?
Go
like
and
what?
see a professional about your credit.
What?
I'm not a finance advisor, so I don't know what to say. And obviously,
Go
what I would say, this is what I would say, this is what I would honestly say. Yeah, seek financial advice because it is there. Go to your local citizens advice.
Law centre.
And law centre. There are, the debt advice lines as well. There are things in place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Don't get me wrong, I know there's things in place, but again, I'm just trying to ask
And
certain
there's
questions. But
charities
I know
out
this,
there
innit?
too,
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But what I would say, and also what I'd say as well, is be direct in your questioning, because what I tend to find is that people are not really direct in what they're saying, and we can only you can only get advice what you express. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you really need help, just be honest with what's going on, and you can get the best help. But yeah, I would honestly, but to answer your question, to keep it short, I would just say, obviously, you have to do what's best for your circumstances, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
So what you're saying is be vulnerable, yeah.
Me personally, I
heard that. But I also heard you say there is help, and also you said it's your habits. Again, it will come down to what are you willing to work on as a person. Obviously, not everything happens overnight. It's not easy to go from a mindset of scarcity to then a mindset of having abundance, or even thinking that's possible if that's your situation. Bear in mind, I've experienced it. So it's not like it's the easiest thing, but it's a step if you're willing. And it will do so much. Because like I said, even if that is what you are experiencing in the now, 5 years later, that's not going to be your reality. You're not going to be stopped forever. You have abilities within you that are far greater than whatever else is set up for you in just this worldly manner, that if you apply it to your life, you can achieve great things, and you can do and receive for just being. That's not myth. That's not true or anything. It's possible if you're willing to learn and to still find a way to live through adversity. This is something that I personally am passionate about because I've experienced so much adversity in disease, in trauma, in life circumstances. You know what I mean? And I'm still very young, so there's still so much that is being unlearned and learned simultaneously. But I do know for as much as I've experienced now, nothing is impossible so long as you are willing.
Yeah.
It's not about your circumstance of the now. It's what you really want. And it might take working on. Be comfortable with doing things that are uncomfortable. Work on it.
That's a big one.
You know what I mean? If you have to change your habits for a while, you can't shop at the big shop. You can't follow your friend them. Don't. Find another way.
Yeah.
You can still be you.
100.
Do you know what I mean? But learn ways to go in and around it. It's not hard. it's challenging. It's not
You say
the worst
it's not
thing.
hard. It's not easy either.
I mean, I've done it while having
you're
2
set in
kids.
your ways, innit? Yeah, but that's you though, innit? That's good on you. That's your character, innit? But a lot of people are set in their ways.
I mean, I'm also someone that's I have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
If I like something, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it easy to form a habit where you need to have moderation and balance.
But you're good at breaking your habits.
Yeah, but
It took time to learn. I still have habits that I need to break. Look at every time I come out, I want sugar.
Cool. Whatever it was, you was able to break that habit. I would like to say I've got an addictive personality, and there's a lot of things that I'm addicted to that I'm still addicted to that I would love to stop, but I can't stop because
Then
I'm addicted
begin
to
so
it.
that you can testify that it's possible.
But the point I'm trying to make is that everyone has different. So you was able to find a way to,
And everyone
stop
can
your
find a way.
addictions. Yeah.
I will solely believe that.
you sink or swim
This is
in
what you-
life.
this
This
is what
is
I'm-
the thing.
Do you want me to tell
what I
people
mean?
that
This is the
that
thing.
literally do.
failure is the only
No,
option?
but
Like,
I'm not even saying failure, but what I'm saying is that it's in theory this sounds good, but in real time, like when you're actually living this life that we're living, like it's just not as simple as
But
that.
if
We're living the
if
same
it's
life,
that,
babe.
If it's that bad, yeah, then you're gonna just have to sort out your, you know what I mean, the credit thing where you're talking about, it's gonna be 6 years. Da, 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 da. This is what I'm saying. There's ways
But even then,
about
okay,
it.
you do
It's
that.
sink or
Fair
swim.
enough, you do that.
Find
but
ways.
all that does is just it's a cut-off point. It doesn't actually stop the bills or the debts coming in. So you
doesn't.
still have that same. Maybe you might start from zero, but you still have that same coming in. Yeah, and at the same time, if you've got children and stuff like that, again, everything's high demand. If you are not earning a certain amount, if we're talking about single mothers and things like that are just literally on benefits or just earning a normal job, things like
Knowledge
that.
is power.
Like
Going
this
out there
current economy.
and understanding what there is again, like, and you're gonna have to talk to people, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it is going to sit and suffice, but
As you
knowledge is
mentioned, there's
power
help.
to know what there is
It's not
out
there's
there
no
for
help.
you. There's charities, there's food banks, there's you know what I mean.
if your children go to school, sometimes schools offer
And some
many
people
things.
don't want to change things because they want to keep up with their appearances. But the fact of the matter is that if that's how you've got to live for that time being until things
Yes.
get better, then that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Do you know what I'm saying? Especially
what
when
it
you've got
is.
kids. You've got no choice. Do you know what I mean? You literally haven't, because again, it's sink or swim. Like, it's either I have to change and my kids still eat and we survive and we still get to do certain things, or it's, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just get myself in more debt. I'm going to get more depressed. It just leads to other
But
dark
some people
places.
do take that option though, because what if you're not confident enough to express yourself? Not everybody is. A lot of people bury their heads in the sand. They're not
Yeah.
confident enough to speak,
Some
and it's
people don't
easy
even
to
know
say.
Well, this
it's
is
easy
why-
to say. It's easy to say. Oh, you know, you just got to get up and do it. Some people can't get up and do it. Though.
So this
You're
is why-
right.
Some people ain't
can't.
confrontational. Some people don't like
But
to have
you-
conversation.
This is why it's nice to know who your neighbors, like who your people are around you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because
But then
even
how
if
then? You
it's
can't
not
trust
you
your neighbor.
that can't talk, maybe
Because
it's
your
the
neighbor will
that
smile in your
Enough
face.
doubt, you
So
know?
your neighbor will
Enough.
smile in your face, and then they'll be
See.
writing letters about you about making noise after flipping 9
See
o'clock.
there.
And noise
It's
pollution starts from
ingrained in
11.
us.
Do you get what I'm saying? That same neighbor that's kikiing with you will be trying to get you out of your
Look,
house. Like,
listen, I will always say the safest space you have is yourself. Period. From time you let information go from you to another soul, it's out there, right? You can't control how they handle it. You can't control what they do with it. At the end of the day, it's not your business.
What's the worst
Let me
that
tell
can
you
happen?
that. What are you gonna do? You can't harm me, right? There's a world out here that knows I have herpes. Do I give a fuck? No, but I'm being real with you. Like I'm radical in these things. I mean, period. But at the end of the day, I'm radical in these things because it's the same things that we suppress.
true.
What you're talking about
The
is
fear.
all the things we suppress that stop us from progressing are the same things we need to be able to comfortably sit with and address, and if need be, speak with others about. The safest place you have is yourself.
yeah.
So what other people do with that, that's with their alignment with the Most High. You understand? It's not your business. But don't suffer because you want to uphold an image or you feel like it's not gonna get you
Who
nowhere.
are you scared of as
Period.
well? Like,
Who's gonna beat you?
who are these people? Who are everybody scared of? If somebody else knows your business,
Maybe it's about
and-
being vulnerable. Maybe that expression just makes you
And-
become vulnerable. Maybe everyone's
Yeah.
scared to be vulnerable in this world that we're living right now.
What's
you
the
know,
worst? But what
you be vulnerable. Then
It's like when
stab
people
you in your
use
back
words
with it,
against
where
you.
you open up your
Do you
heart.
know
and they stab you in it.
the thing about judging another person is the only person that's harmed in doing that is yourself. Mm-hmm. You sit down and you want to judge someone for what they're going through, what their life experience is. You're only judging and stifling yourself. Whilst they continue to move because you know why? They've let the burden go. So you're going to look confused when you see that person is actually progressing from what you thought they would be, simply because they've actually allowed themselves to be full.
Some people thrive
whilst
with that as
you've
well.
decided, well, because of so and so, I'm gonna go talk to this one. And also, your own behavior is what's going to be mirrored back to you. I don't have people that come to me to gossip. I don't gossip, so I don't know about it, and it doesn't bother me because I don't know about it.
Yeah,
I've lived it once, yes, but in my reality today, it doesn't impact me, and therefore, it's proof that who you are is what you become and what you receive. You feel me?
Yeah.
Period.
I just feel like everyone's different and you do things differently. And you're very strong. You're a very strong character.
No,
and you've done well, you
don't
know.
do that.
You're a survivor. You're out here and you've had to build. And you've had
I'm
to,
a very sensitive person. Don't give me strong dub.
Well, that's obviously what you just basically just said to me. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
What I said to you is, from point A to point B, there's a way.
Yeah.
But the way requires your participation.
Yeah.
The way requires you to have enough faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And
not
the
everyone
Most
has
High.
that faith. This is what I'm trying to say. That is not everybody has that faith in themselves though.
But at the time, it's not necessarily faith that you need at the time. At the time, it's literally survival. It is
surviving until you can live.
Yeah. It's literally like,
but it's also a willingness to want to live.
To get to here.
And this is the topic that we're on though, isn't it? And again, look, this is what we go through naturally, survival. Yeah. Like naturally, you have to at some point survive.
But then it's the survival and then there's goals.
We're not aristocrats.
There's a thin line.
There's layers.
Line.
There's layers to how it happens because even as you choose to live then, there could be moments that would look like survival because you're trying to achieve another state or, do you know what I mean?
Out
like
of your comfort zone.
Right. You're in a whole different paradigm of being. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that life never comes with its discomfort. That's not going to be real. In fact, you should want to have more problems along the way. Problems where you can become better, problems where you can learn more of a skill set, problems where you can become more agile in navigating life. Because at the end of the day, we're here to live an experience. We're not here to be comfy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, faith does play a huge thing. And if you don't have faith, this is why I preach about faith or I teach about faith or I stand in faith because ultimately you don't know what you don't know. And no one's going to wrong you for that. But when you're introduced to it, it's your duty to either be curious and lean in or to reject.
So when you say faith, what do you mean by that? What faith? In this day and age that we're living right now, what would you say? What's faith? Have faith in what?
My faith is personally in the Most High. I'm someone that's very knowledgeable with all things that are esoteric. And so that also gives me some guidance, some type of insight to what happens within and around life. And that's my personal way of navigating that helps me. And it can help many because, you know, astrology or numerology, these things give you insight to yourself enough to know what you're meant to be doing here. But having faith is beyond that because you shouldn't lean upon these things. And these things are tools that help you to navigate, but you are meant to learn you. Yeah. You are meant to develop a personal relationship with the Most High, ultimately.
Okay, but what about someone who's not into that stuff? Like, okay, cool. Wait a second. For people that's listening right now, and they're going through what we're talking about right now, cool. So you're saying you gotta have faith, and I'm saying, well, not everyone has faith. I'm saying in this life that we're living right now, where most of us are coming from, there's not enough to there's not enough to be faithful about. So I'm saying right now, when you say faith, what do you mean by faith? And remember, there's not everyone's spiritual. So how do you appeal to
everyone is spiritual?
Like, not everyone believes in that stuff.
Though.
So let's talk about how do you get something that everyone can universally
navigates things differently.
This part, but also I trust that everyone's born in this lifetime with guidance of some kind.
All right, let me because for instance, I don't really so when you're saying Most High and like have faith in the Most High, I hear that, but I don't live my life with spirit. I don't really.
Did you ever grow up knowing any type of
spiritual base? I grew up in the church,
right?
But
so
that's
for
through
you,
that's through my because of my upbringing, my Caribbean upbringing. Naturally, I was my nan.
And that's a
to
lot
church,
of black people.
like
A lot of us are
Church of
into
England primary school.
Christianity or
But
Islam.
when I got to a certain age, when I started to kind of whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I then kind of took a step back from faith on a whole because I'm not really too sure about all of that. So again, without getting too much into that, someone like me, when I'm hearing you say, well, you know, in order for you got to have faith in the Most High, I'll be honest with you, that would go right over my head. So if I'm someone that's going through that right now, that bit of advice right there would literally not do nothing for me. So that's why I'm saying, how would you apply that to everybody?
Why do you get up every day and go to work?
Because in order for me, the lifestyle that I want to live, you need to have, for my lifestyle, you need to have money to be able to sustain the lifestyle that I'm living. So that means, unless I win the lottery, unfortunately for me, I wasn't born into royalty. I'm not an aristocrat. Unfortunately for me, no rich woman's come along and taken me up, so I've not got none of that. So yeah, do you get it? So I've had to live a modest life.
Do you think you're in survival mode every day?
100%. 100%.
See, this is what I'm saying. Your survival mode looks different to somebody in the streets of Brazil.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Right.
So,
but it's economy as well, though, isn't it? Like UK's economy is more like built than Brazil, so we have to translate it. Do you get me?
Not necessarily.
We have to translate
Not
it.
necessarily. There's like here, there's rich and there's poor living. I live in Grove, yeah. They live on each other. Do you know what I'm saying? They're on each other's laps. Like we
even
live
the
in the
country,
same ends, but one's rich and one's poor. So their daily struggles are different. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the whole world. Like you go to certain places and it's the same thing. So just because you feel like this is your struggle, to some people, like struggling is just getting food on their plate in a day.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying to you? So,
but we have to look at it to like, again, when you're saying Brazil, and when you're talking about the UK, Brazil's not as built up as UK, number one. And number two, Brazil's bigger than the UK. So when we're talking about poverty, there is going to definitely be larger scales. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm just using Brazil as
yeah, of course.
Because what my point was is that a man that from Brazil that had a life where it was hard to get food every day, to him, you're living on the other side. Like I said, there's a thin line. So one survival where you're just going because you have to eat and, you know what I mean, and function. And then the other side of it is goals. Yeah. So they will look at you as you've got goals, but you're living.
Let me give you an example. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's interesting that you say that. So you see, when I go to the Caribbean, I see my family in the Caribbean in Jamaica. It's funny because obviously, they're not as obviously well off as us, whatnot, and obviously, whatever we can kind of give, they appreciate. But it's funny because for me, the one thing I always try to explain is that, listen, I get how I look and I understand how to you guys, how it comes across. But what you need to understand is that if you come over to the UK and you see how I'm living, I'm pretty much living how you're living in Jamaica over in the UK. It's just, it looks, because UK is more of an established,
because we're such consumers
than
as
Jamaica.
Well,
so naturally, it's going to look, the scale is going to look different. But when you actually come to, I'm not actually, do you know what I'm trying to say? This holiday for me was, when I come back from this holiday, I ain't doing this Monday for the next 3 months. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I can only do this once a year. Do you get that? Even then, it's a lot. So again, like, it's about the scales. But I understand what you're saying, which is why even in them moments, I will still give.
Yeah.
They're asking for whatever. I will still give because I understand that even in that in itself, that's for you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But again. It's this for me. It's the skills, innit? I would still say I'm in survival mode. For me, living in the UK, I'm definitely in survival mode for living in the UK. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think there's different types of survival mode as well. Like even for me, I feel like I'm in survival mode still, but I'm healing. Do you know what I mean? And like, there's been many different levels of healing, and it looks very different at different times of my life. But when I had my youngest kid, he was like, as soon as I had him, he had to go to intensive care. We was in there for 6 weeks, and then he was still on oxygen when he came out for 2 weeks. So I feel like I was just on auto mode from then. I was dealing with him and then going home having to deal with the other kids. Do you know what I'm saying? So I still feel that I'm in that bubble and I'm trying to come out of it. So again, I feel like everyone's survival mode looks different. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And then there's different spectrums of the survival mode. Do you know what I mean? You could be literally at the start where you're like, there's no help. Like, there's not even a question of what do I do? It's just, I'm stuck. Do you know what I mean? And then there's the other side where you're trying to heal yourself or find your journey or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? It's too so.
And then there's the part where you actually do find it, and you still have to keep thriving.
Honestly,
I'm gonna come back to what you said.
I want to say one thing about you quickly, Shan. Because even the one thing I would say is that even in knowing you throughout the years, seeing you grow up and whatnot, half the stuff that you talk about, I would never know you've gone through half this stuff. Like the way that you carry is the way that you're kind of just like, even when I see you just in general, like you've always kind of been very like, I would never know that there's things that, I would never know that you're in survival mode. If you want to call it that. I don't know if you want to call it that. Don't let me put something on, do you get me? But like, I would never know that you go through the things that you go through. And for me, it's everyone, innit? And like, I'm just basically trying to reiterate what you're saying, that everyone's survival mode looks different. So I would look at Shan and I'll be thinking to myself, oh, you know, she's getting on with it.
Yeah.
She seems like,
You do,
every time I
though.
see her,
You
she's
don't
bubbly,
think
she's
about-
up. I would never know that she's got whatever she's
You
got going
don't
on.
think
Do you get
about
it?
like what is the person going through when you look at it. And there's that thing where people go, how are you? And you're like, do you want the real answer? Or do you know what I'm saying to you? So
Red, yellow, green, or blue.
yeah. Like, so I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it.
Sorry, Shan, what was your point? You're gonna...
Yeah, I was going to come back to
Yeah.
what you mentioned in regards to faith, because I feel like it is a very important thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, with us being spiritual beings, having this experience, it's almost, for me, essential that we acknowledge our spirit within the experience. And you're not wrong to say that many people then have a disconnect with faith. I've had disconnect with faith at points. And so I can only share with you from how I found, how I've come to this point. Because I was grown up Christian, at some points, because my family is just so diverse in belief systems. There's Islamic faith followers, there are Christians, there are atheists, there are, there's just everything. So growing up, I've always had insight to different belief systems, and seeing that, I've always then been able to question what it is I was taught and told in church. And eventually, when I had gone through like my own set of traumas and things, and I was in a place of complete disarray, I disowned any part of that knowing and chose to then pursue life on my own path without acknowledging any higher being or any God of any kind, not thinking there's never a God, but not acknowledging, because what's that going to do for me now?
Yeah.
And then it was at a point of being in complete despair where it was like, you know what, I need direction. I need something more than myself. And I didn't resonate at first with, just the Bible and what it was saying. So I tried. I really did try. And I tried to like consistently show up in meetings and learn more. And for me, that wasn't fulfilling me, because what I needed was to really start engaging with myself and get into the root of my problems. And that's only through knowing self. So after that point, it was first, obviously, because one thing about religion is there's a beautiful way of which it will guide you with discipline, and it will guide you with wisdom that is always and possibly never not going to be valid to your experience of life. You can apply certain things and it will always help you find your center. But when you get to a certain point, you're going to want something else. But even in that, there needs to be a base, you know what I mean? So the spiritual journey that I've embarked on isn't for everyone, because I have seen people do it and get lost, seen people do it, revert completely back.
I was going to say, when you were talking, it actually sounded like my story as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did the same thing, but I became Muslim.
Yeah.
So I had to search as well.
But even at that, when you do have some type of a base, it helps so much.
Yeah.
So given that you said you grew up Catholic or Christian,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
But given that you said you grew up Christian, I would say if that's what your base was, go back, because you can learn way of then grounding within yourself, ground with the scripture, really listen. But then if you feel like you need more, keep to the discipline and seek more. Please listen to me, Claire, because I'm not telling you to disregard.
Because what I was saying before, I was obviously trying to make a point, but let me be clear. Obviously, to be honest with you, again, because of my upbringing, I would say if there was a faith I was to follow, for me, it would be Church of England, because I would say my core values is very much church, the church. I still, Christmas, I still consider that Birth of Christ, family time, whatnot. Easter, I still celebrate that. You know, all the kind of anything that's kind of biblical, I still very much kind of follow that. And you get what I'm trying to say? For me, those periods for me is time like of family, times when you kind of it just becomes it's that time when you kind of, you know, things just become a little bit more enlightening in your life, I feel. Do you get me? So that's what I would say. But then but what I'm basically trying to say is that I wouldn't say I live my life basically God-fearing, or I wouldn't say I live my life kind of like by the church.
And you shouldn't. And I still stand by that, because then, like I said, grounding with yourself is a whole different spectrum of being, because you don't have a congregation behind you to tell you when you're doing right and when you're doing wrong. This is now where you have to trust your own internal compass. And it's when it's going to be necessary that you keep to discipline so you don't feel like you're going astray. And you ground frequently so you can hear clearly what's coming into you. You know what I mean? Especially as spiritual beings, we're always going to be given guidance. This is what I'm trying to point at. Once you was ordained to be on this earth, you was ordained with a mission. You was ordained with everything around you that you need. It's not easy to believe when your life's not in the right place. Yeah. But even the not in the right place is a part of the journey, because in that place you're still receiving what can then help the next person. Like now I speak and I help people that are going through herpes, that are experiencing adversity. Do you know what I mean? I speak of these things to help others because the experience is necessary, but it's not going against you in any way. So then it's really grounding again, like I said, so you can hear and you can follow. And you're not following, like I address the Most High God, right? This is what all spiritual teachers before us had connected with and taught others to connect to. It wasn't a Quran, and it wasn't a Bible, and it wasn't a Torah, and it wasn't anything that was written. It was intuitive knowing. It was insight from within to your direct source. And you have the ability to connect to that source. Fasting is the quickest way for you to realize how much of yourself you need to reconnect to and find yourself again. Cut out everything, 24 hours. Just 24 hours. And I promise you, from that point on, you will start to see things differently. Yep. Do that for 7 days. And it's a 360. And as you're doing it, take care of your temple. Go for a walk. Go for a workout. You ain't got a membership, that's cool. Go to the park. My favorite gym is the park. I don't have a gym. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not impossible, and it's not even pricey. If you really want to eat well, cut out the shit. Basically. All the things that you're buying to feed your body ain't feeding you. And the things that you do need to buy don't cost half as much. Go eat watermelon for 1 week.
I'm drinking a bigger as you say this.
Respectfully, I ate sweets earlier. It's time and space, and it's just the foundation. It's a foundation that's necessary to then be bestowed within the wisdom. Like it's not something that's foreign to you. It's you. You understand? But if you're distracted because of all the things you're consuming, take yourself away from your problems. And then you will hear clearer how to deal with them. That's where I stand with faith. Because I've experienced the faith. You said you've experienced me my whole life, never thinking I've gone through things. My whole life I've gone through things. You know, it's never been easy stepping. But at the end of the day, I don't walk alone. So when you see me, you're not just seeing me, but you're seeing my spirit. Yeah. Because that's my armor. That's the thing at the front of me. I don't look tired. Why? I've been given gifts of makeup. I'm very tired, but I can do my makeup. Do you get what I'm saying? Period. Like, I can do my face. I can beat it down to the point where you will never see a single mark of tiredness. But that keeps me going. You understand? Like we're not here without tools. We wasn't thrown from an abyss. It's intentional that you're here. This part of knowing takes time to really learn. But as you do this and as you trust in the guidance that's being given to you and you follow it, you will see why. So for me, it's like I can trust unknown because I've seen myself receive from the unknown.
Do you get what I mean? I haven't gone from point A to point B without having to go through the complete darkness with a blindfold.
Yeah.
But even with the blindfold, what I do have is myself. I have connection of my body. You know, so I will take care of me. I will do yoga. Mm-hmm. I will meditate. I will journal. I will get up at the 5 a.m. when the world is asleep and I will hair clear. Mm-hmm. This is not just for women, it's for men. Anyone can do it. It's what would you call it? It's fail-proof. Mm. If life is heavy, take a step back. And you will find the faith you need because it's in you. It's not really in anything else. Mm. But go to your base. I had to go back to Christianity to get here. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I value Christianity.
You've got to learn to unlearn sometimes.
And take the value, take the lesson, but keep growing.
Yeah. And then you connect the dots as well. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't even say your base is like your faith. I would say your base is like you. Like if you're telling me to go back to revert to my base, I would then revert that to myself. So I would then look at the things that I don't know what makes me happy or what I would like to see change, what I'd like to see different. I would just kind of literally take a step back and think about what the things that are maybe keeping me stuck, and then look at the things that I would want in my life that would maybe stop me from thinking that way or even feeding that energy, and then how I can do that.
So you know the way out.
Yeah. Again, it's not exactly it's for everybody though, isn't it? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like
for everybody, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Enough stillness.
Me, do you know what it is with me? You see, with me, when I get into moments and I get in myself, I reset in it. Yeah. But I don't mind that though. I don't feel no way. Like I will just kind of lock myself off from everyone. I'll just kind of there'll be the moments where I just kind of I'm on my own thing. Do you get me? Like I just won't really even holler at no one. I'll just maybe just work home. Maybe whoever's just in and around me personally, like, or if you come and check me on a random thing, But if it's not that, then you're not seeing me, you're not hearing me. Because right now, I'm not even
you need
that
to get
mode.
right. I'm just saying.
That's what I tend to do.
I have to sit with myself sometimes and understand what I'm actually feeling, not even what is going on the outside. Like, why am I feeling this way in this situation? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's healthy.
And before I used to kind of feel guilty. I used to feel like, no, man, I need to keep hollering at the man or keep hollering at my friends because like when I do go, it's like, oh, where are you doing, man? Like, oh, yeah, man, I hear from you and da. But you see in this life, sometimes you just need a break, because you know what happens? You know what happens? Cool. It's like, you know what happens, yeah? What I've noticed, you see sometimes when you just kind of just settle and you just get comfortable, what you will see is just everyone will be around you, but everyone will just be around you and getting on and just getting on with it and moving on. And then before you know it, when you look around, you just look left and right and you just look like, bro, everyone's gone and left you and you've just been in that same place that you was. So you see sometimes when everyone's just kind of getting on with it and doing their own thing, at that moment there, whatever they're doing, it doesn't involve you. They're doing whatever they need to do to improve their life. So at some point, you need to stop giving yourself to that, and you need to also take your step back. And that's what, for me,
improve your life.
Do you get me?
Because you don't want to see your people progress, and you ain't going to where you want to get to.
And not even in like a way of hating, but just in a way of like, cool. If this is what. Like it's everyone, it's all of us, innit? Like all of us need to be putting our weights at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
No one doesn't want to be slacking, or no one doesn't want to be the one being carried. Do you get me? So at the end of the day,
I agree with you. And how I see us, like, as I feel like we are all part of one body, and we're all like individual cells within this body. Every cell has to operate at its highest of frequency to be able to do its job properly. Yeah. And if one is falling, we should want to pull that person along. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? But at the same time, you can't even do that if you're not overflowing. So we have to fill our cup.
And you've got to be in an environment where they also, do you know what I mean? You feel like if that happened to me, someone else will come.
Someone else, yes.
Pick me up when I need it as well. So healthy balance. Yeah. So to wrap it up for today, our conclusion, be with people and get help if you need it.
There's so much help.
Yeah. You're not alone.
Come to my mirror workshop.
Come to her mirror workshop. But we'll see you next time. And if you've got any comments and stuff that you would like us to bring up or, discuss at a later date, we'd love to hear what you have to say, especially on the topics that we throw out every week. But Peace and love, guys.
Peace and love.
See you later, guys.
Peace.